Now this team coming off a very, very tough loss that came last Sunday against the SMU Mustangs. A heartbreaker in the 90th minute. Hannah Allred with the go-ahead goal in the late stages of the game that sent DePaul home with their second loss. Now they look to turn things around here on this Thursday afternoon. They have a very challenging opponent. The 2-0 Purdue Boilermakers come to town. And one player to really highlight for this one is Kristen Bose on the DePaul side. She scored her first collegiate goal against SMU and looks to keep that offensive momentum rolling here today. Meanwhile, on the other side, Purdue, as I mentioned, 2-0 on the season with convincing wins against Georgia and Toledo. But the interesting thing about their offense here in 2019 is
here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
just moments away from first kickoff here. Let's get to the starting lineups for your DePaul Blue Demons, starting with Avery Hay. She's back on defense. Bina Sapie, Jackie Batliner, Morgan Turner, Gwen Walker, Molly Erickson in net today. Sydney Parker, Brooke Weitzel, Jessica Lazo, Kristen Bose, and rounding it all out, Jaden Scholler for the DePaul Blue Demons. Meanwhile, on the other side, for the Boilermakers, Hannah Melchiori, one of the goal scorers of 5 that this Boilermakers team has so far this season. Maya Lambert, Sarah Griffith, Julia Ware. They'll be joined by Allie Melky, Tegan Jones, Grace Walsh, and in net, Marissa Bova for the Purdue Boilermakers today. Should be a great matchup. Boilermakers coming into this one hot. Their first road game of the season. 2-0 so far with wins over Toledo, a 4-0 smackdown on August 25th, and the opener, a 1-0 win against Georgia. Meanwhile, on the other side, DePaul looking to right the ship after 2 empty trips, both of them here at home. Both of them by a score of 2-1. However, they both got there in very different manners. And looking to pick up that first win of the season today here against Big Ten foe Purdue. It's a series that, for the length of these two programs, has sided with the folks from West Lafayette. Purdue currently with a 7-0 advantage over the DePaul Blue Demons. Their latest victory coming back in 2017, a 2-0 win for the Boilermakers. These two have also met up in the NCAA tournament once before. That came back in 2003 with Purdue winning 2-1. We're underway here in Chicago. In net for DePaul, Molly Erickson, coming off a 5-save game against SMU. However, she couldn't get to the big one late off the foot of Hannah Allred. That led to the game-winning goal in the 90th minute for the Mustangs, who have since cracked the top 25. So a formidable opponent, but a game that Coach Aaron Chastain says easily could have at least drawn. They could have probably made that final push, final stop, but instead it ends in a loss, and a heartbreaking one at that. Other player in net today, Marissa Bova, the sophomore from Heartland, Wisconsin. has yet to allow a goal so far this season, has made 4 saves on the year, 2 in each match. A very tall player in net, the 6'2" sophomore. Very poised, and you have to be poised to win the starting job here. And right now, DePaul with an early opportunity here with Morgan Turner. Not even 2 minutes in. Here's the bend, and it goes right into the stomach of Bova. And she's tested early on and passes right out of the gate. She did a lot of passing this spring. She initially won the goalkeeping battle over Katie Luce, the junior who had started 14 games last year, allowed less than a goal per game last season as a sophomore. But it was a tough competition in the spring and early in preseason this summer. Coach Drew Rolfe says we've got 2 great goalkeepers with a lot of confidence in both. But players do develop at a different rate, and Bova was just outright the better player to go with. It's a tough conversation to have with someone who was a member of the all Big Ten freshman team back in 2017. But they know that this opportunity might arise for one of them to reclaim the reins, that being Katie Luce. And if she can, the Boilermakers know they are in steady hands regardless of who's in net. Speaking of Drew Rolfe, he enters his 4th season with this Boilermakers squad, his 13th overall. His record just a hair below 500 since arriving at Purdue, 31, 35, and 8. Here comes a good look right out of the gate. Great save by Erickson. And it looked like a whistle and an offside, so it doesn't matter either way. But good to see Molly Erickson with the early awareness. Not going to get credited with the save, but did still pass that test. Erickson, I mentioned 5 saves last game. Didn't have a single one in the opener against Milwaukee. Ball wraps around in the midfield. Kristen Bowes looking for a beat on it. She scored her first collegiate goal. That came last game against SMU, something that Coach Chastain was really excited for, just because she has put in all this work and now it's going to give her some more confidence moving forward. She was kind of goal-seeking and really has been all season long. She's leading the team with a whopping 13 shots so far. That's more than some players on this team had all of last season, but she's already got a 13 spot right out of the gate, 6 of which have come on goal. A good monkey to get off the back in the early going. 4 minutes gone here. Saw our first goal against SMU at the 5-minute mark. That came from Celiana Torres of the Mustangs to give them an early 1-0 lead. Then it was Bowes with the 78th minute strike as the equalizer, only to have the hearts break in the 90th minute thanks to Hannah Allred. It's something that Coach Chastain talked about with me pregame today. She's proud of how the team fought. You have to fight back. You have to have some games like that. But the last goal probably was preventable for her team. Again, DePaul has really dominated their teams in the statistics department, just not in the goals department so far. This is a team that has outshot their opponents 38-15 so far, but Coach Chastain says, I told the girls these stats do not matter. The only one that matters is getting the ball in the back of the net, and we just have not done that as much this year. So something that the Blue Demons will look to correct today. All of their goals so far, all 2 of them, have come in the second half. So looking to get a fast start today. They did have one chance early on with Morgan Turner off the free kick. A really good look, but a save was made by Marissa Bova. Some of our keys today, starting on the DePaul side. Coach Chastain says, let's be competitive for 90 minutes. And with these extremely windy conditions that we're seeing in Chicago right now, keep that ball on the turf because you don't want any wonky things going on with today's wind that's blowing right now at 20 miles per hour. Meanwhile, on the other side for Purdue, a lot of good athletes up front. Let's be really good at reading the game and keeping the athletes up front and reading that game defensively. Good decision making will be necessary today for the Boilermakers against a very good group of athletes. Ball goes out of play, and we'll see Gwen Walker do the duties here on this corner kick. Here comes the first one of the game. DePaul yet to score on a corner kick this season. Here it comes. It's high and it's deep, and it sails out of play. An easy goal kick coming up the other way. Not a test that time around for Marissa Bova. There goes Bova sending that one into play. This Purdue team, a young group but experienced. Head coach Drew Roth says, really youth is not an excuse for us. We have all these players, but we have all these returning players too that really will help us, especially in late game situations. This team last year, they may have just gone 8-6-4 and only went 1-7-1 in the Big Ten, the penultimate team out of the conference. But they played in 7 one-goal losses last year, 4 and 7 in one-goal games, so they kept things competitive for the length of the season. But they lost 6 of their last 7 one-goal contests after starting out of the chute 3-1. You can't speed up experience, and they surely gained a lot last year in a lot of those close matches. Here comes Bose, trying to weave through the traffic, and she is knocked around, and ball going right back to Paul's way. A look inside the attacking third, something that Coach Chastain wants to see a little better work with today. Get better opportunities in that attacking zone. Lazo can't track that one down, and it'll go back the Boilermakers' way. Our referees today, Nick Balser, Jordan Pramuk, Jorge Cuate, and Cesar Ibarra. Another goal kick inbound. Coming up on 10 minutes gone here in this first half. Sydney Parker gets her head on it. Morgan Turner looking to attack. She's been quiet so far this season. The team's leading returning goal scorer has just 3. That being 3 shots, not 3 goals. Still has yet to find the back of the net so far this year. Something that DePaul really has a good chance to do against this Purdue team is get shots on goal against Marissa Bova. Again, I mentioned she didn't play a ton last year, only appeared in 6 games, allowed 6 goals over that stretch, made 16 saves. Sydney Parker halts that quick attack for Purdue. But Bova, so far this year, has only seen 4 shots on goal, has only had to make 4 saves. And that's something that she'll probably see a lot more of today when you look at what's the forte of this DePaul team so far. As another look inside the box, some physicality there between Sarah Griffith and Avery Hay, but no whistles, and DePaul will get the ball back. But Bova so far this season has only seen those 4 shots. Meanwhile, DePaul likes to get a lot of looks offensively. So they'll try to dial up some offense here against Bova, who again has not seen a lot of shots over the course of her collegiate career. Purdue throws that one in with Grace Walsh, sophomore defender. So Purdue will put this one back in play. Coming off a 4-0 win against Toledo. Got a lot of different players in. Here's a good opportunity here, and the ball trickles over the end line. It'll go back the way of the Blue Demons. Erickson has that one cut off, and Sydney Parker goes off her hand, so Purdue with a chance to move here. Still no score. Only shot coming from the foot of Morgan Turner for DePaul. Came on goal on a free kick early on. Have not seen Purdue get a lot of opportunities here in the early going. A lot of different goal scorers on this Purdue roster so far. We've seen scores come off the feet of Tegan Jones, Hannah Melchiori, who Coach Rolfe said had the real trigger goal for their team against Toledo that got the rest of the offense flowing. That led to 6 minutes in the stretch of the 33rd to 39th minute where the Boilermakers put 3 up against Toledo. Bose tries to come away with something in the box. She steadies on the ball, though, and wins it right back. Bose tangled up in the corner, maybe trying to draw a corner kick, but can't do so. Ball goes out of bounds. This won't be the last time these two teams see each other this year. They may not face off against each other, but they will be together at the Boilermaker Challenge Cup. That's coming up in the first week of September. You'll see Kansas, you'll see South Carolina, and you'll see these two teams right here. The Challenge Cup started several years prior to the arrival of Drew Roth, and sometimes can be tough to schedule with 3 other teams, but they like to get in some teams that have top 25 potential. It's a great chance at a great facility out at Folk Field in West Lafayette, Indiana. So you'll get a very diverse set from the conferences. You get one out of the SEC, one out of, in Kansas, out of the Big 12, and then you get one more from the Big East to go along with the Big 10. Here comes Bose, stumbles to the turf, and a good opportunity spoiled there. "15 minutes gone here in the first half. So I mentioned Purdue's first match. That was a game against Georgia. And that one was locked up at nothing for quite some time. However, Coach Roth said his team felt in command of the game that entire time. It was just a matter of, would we score a goal? And that was eventually the case. And they come out of that one, come out of their home slate to start the season 2-0. Now Purdue will charge the other way. Sydney Sparks with a beat on it. A look in front, and that one goes to safety with Molly Erickson. Erickson hasn't been tested yet so far today. Still no shots from the Boilermakers. Up ahead to Bose. Tiptoes the end line and finds a teammate in Lazo. The 6-footer plays catch along the sideline. And here comes DePaul into the attacking third with some momentum. Double in the corner, and a corner kick forced here for DePaul. It'll be their second opportunity of the day.
Walker on the kick.
Gwen Walker, the junior. One of the players that Aaron Chastain says really made the big leap over the offseason. Here she comes. And another one that sails over and out of bounds. So still no good looks off the corner for DePaul. They do get plenty of opportunities, though. They're getting almost triple the opportunities. That right there was the 17th of the year. Meanwhile, their opponents have only had 6. DePaul likes to put those opposing goalies to the test early and often. They've already forced teams to make 18 saves this year, 11 for Allie Strotman of Milwaukee, and 7 for Tatum Sutherland, the SMU goalkeeper. Ball dances around in the midfield. Purdue trying to get a lead on it, and it's cut off by Maria Nordness, the freshman. And we got a whistle and some physicality in the box, but luckily not going against DePaul. So it'll go back the way of the Blue Demons. Erickson puts it back in play. Almost 20 minutes gone here in the first half. Still only one shot between the two teams, and it came on goal. An early look for Morgan Turner. Couldn't find the back of the net off the free kick. So we are deadlocked at nothing apiece. Lazo to put it in. A look inside the box. Here's another chance. Here's a lefty boot, but it bounces just shy. Looked like Sydney Parker on that shot, but Marissa Bova comes out with it cleanly. Not a lot of power on that one. Beautiful day here. Strong winds, which was one of Coach Chastain's keys for today. Little hot. We've seen some earlier games so far this season in the 70s, but still very few clouds in the sky. We are 3 for 3 so far on beautiful days, knock on wood, here at Wish Field. Hopefully we'll get another tomorrow when the men kick off their season against Northern Illinois. You can catch that game right here on DePaul All Access. Player down for Purdue. Slow to get up, looked like Allie Melky, but now she's back on her feet. DePaul trying to control in the midfield. Here's Melky, back on her toes. A lead pass in front, but it's going to be an offsides. Hannah Melchiori, the one who got behind the defense, didn't like the call, looking at officials on both sides as well as to her sideline. Wipes away what could have been a very good opportunity, especially for the first shot of the game for Purdue. Still yet to get that statistic on the board. Here's Bose ahead of the pack. Maneuvering past a defender, was looking for Lazo, but she may have slowed up for just a split second. She gets it right back though down the alley. Plays catch with Parker. A look inside the box. Nearly a quality opportunity there for DePaul. Purdue the other way with it. Melky lost the handle. And it'll go back to the Blue Demons. Long throw in there. Avery Hay hits the turf, and it was Melky that was too physical. "22 minutes left to go here in this first half. Just 2 shots on the board right now. Both came on goal. One off the foot of Kristen Bose, the other Morgan Turner. Here's the aforementioned Turner. Can't get a grip on it. Parker uses her head. Up ahead to Lazo. Lazo scored the lone goal against Milwaukee. Came from nearly midfield right in front of the Milwaukee bench.
Substitutions coming in for Purdue, number 20, Leanna.
Couple swaps. Here comes Liana Rabimbis, the freshman forward. She'll be accompanied by Ina Shabanagic, already with a goal to her name this year. Came in the 39th minute in the win against Toledo. 3 shots, 2 of which were on goal. The other substitution, Liana Rabimbis, had a pair of assists in that match against the Rockets. So already off to a dashing start here with the Boilermakers in her freshman season. DePaul looking for firm possession here in the midfield. Punched ahead. Still no distinct control. Julia Ware will put this one back in play. Almost at the 20 minutes to go mark here in the first half. Lackluster game offensively. Bose. Erickson puts her leg through that one, trying to lead some sort of attack for this Blue Demons team. Physical near the sidelines, ball goes out of play. This is a Purdue team that scored all 4 of their goals in the first half against Toledo. They've yet to put a shot up today. Not just a shot on goal, a shot. Got to credit the DePaul defense so far, and the offense too, for controlling the pace. Here's a lead pass. Good opportunity here. Erickson comes way out, and a whistle, and we're going to get a card. It's going to be a yellow card against Molly Erickson. Couldn't quite tell who the charging player was there. It may have been Sarah Griffith, and it was Sarah Griffith, who's a little hobbled getting up. But a good free kick opportunity here, and the first real set piece of the day for this Boilermakers team. DePaul aligns the wall. Looks like Maya Lambert to put this one in. Here it comes, and safely into the hands of Erickson. No threat there. First official shot of the day. This was a DePaul team that, with that Erickson red card, or rather yellow card, finished first in the Big East in that department last year with 16, including 45th out of 333 teams in the country. It's already 2 for them this season. Had one in the opener against Milwaukee. Shabanagic couldn't get past the defense. Here comes Skylar Jacobetti for Purdue, and Mary Tierney enters the game for DePaul. Tierney, she was aggressive in the last one against SMU, had a trio of shots, including one on goal, but still looking for that elusive first goal of the season. Only found the back of the net once last year. Here's Bose. A look in the box and popped away. And we've got a corner kick coming up. Gwen Walker, another chance here. The third one of the game so far for DePaul. No, it'll be Tierney to take this one. She puts a lefty leg into it. Into the box it goes, and it's headed out. Bose on the beat with it. Touch to the alley. Crossing pattern. A look inside, and just barely overshot Bina Sapi. Good look there for DePaul. Just a little off tune on the delivery. Chloe Woodbeck, the 5'10 freshman, controlling. Given back to Maya Lambert. Very weak look there for DePaul. Good defense for the Blue Demons. Whistle and a foul going against DePaul. Purdue will pick it right back up. Almost half an hour of running around and nothing to show so far. Only 3 shots in the match. 2 coming from the DePaul side, 1 coming from Purdue. All of them have been on goal. Sydney Duarte checks in. She assisted on a goal last game. One of the key reserves for this team. Sophomore from Lake Forest, California. So she's from the Lake Forest of the West. Meanwhile, DePaul has a pair of Lake Forest players, however, from Illinois, not California, that being the Walker sisters, Adrian and Gwen. Adrian will be out for the season after suffering a torn ACL in the spring. Always tough to lose an all Big East level player at center back. She has been a great leader from the bench and surely can make her presence known, even though she has to sit out this entire season. Twisted up in the midfield. Here's a lead pass, trying to cut it off, and a great defense there for Parker to get it into the hands of Erickson. DePaul looking for complete control. We'll let Molly Erickson take it from there and boot it out of play. Men's soccer will be on this very field tomorrow, 4 o'clock against Northern Illinois to open up the season. Here's a chance for the Boilermakers. Past one defender, but not past another. Shabanagic on the attack there, comes up empty. A player that Drew Roth described as having the ability to blow by anybody on the field. Got by 1 there, but couldn't get by 2. Senior coming off a season with 3 goals, already a third of the way there here on her 2019 total. Bo's attacking, can't find anything. Walker will put it back in play. DePaul trying to advance the ball. It's been stingy defense on both sides. Both of these teams kind of flipping roles from last season where they were defensively in terms of goals allowed. Last year, DePaul allowed less than 1 per game. This year so far, and even 2 in both contests as a crossing pattern, and it goes wide. Brooke Weitzel had the cross there. Morgan Turner with the chance to try to put it away, but just sailed wide left. Meanwhile, on the other side for Purdue, they have yet to allow a goal so far through 2 matches. The defense has really locked down. Last season, middle of the pack in the Big Ten, 7th out of the 14 teams at 1.1 allowed per game. Last year, the road was really a place that the Boilermakers struggled at. Only won 1 match, drew 2, lost 4. First road test of the season today. Team that relies heavily on its sophomores. You look on the back line with a player like Julia Ware. Allie Melky patrolling the front. Tegan Jones also someone with a goal and assist so far this season. They're really the teams and teammates that are going to be the ultimate determinant of success with this team. Still just one shot so far today for Purdue. On the year, they're outshooting their opponents 30-11 coming into today's game, averaging 2.5 goals. Here's a set piece in front, but tamed quickly by Erickson. This is a staff that's starting to get to that turning point where they've been around together for a while. Drew Roth entering his 4th season with the Boilermakers. He was previously at Illinois State from 2007 to 2014, was dominant in the Missouri Valley, won 6 titles there, had 5 NCAA tournament appearances, and reached the second round in each of his final 2 seasons in 2013 and 2014. Got this program to 10 wins in 2017, but then a dip down to 6 in the victory department. That attack cut short there for DePaul, go back the way of the Boilermakers. His assistants, Jim Schneiderhan enters his 5th season, Katie Greenberg also in her 5th season. Haven't seen the ball in the Purdue attacking third very much today. A lot of fiddling in the midfield. DePaul, despite what their 2 shots may show, has had the bulk of the opportunities. You throw 3 corner kicks on top of that, and it's really been all DePaul. We're not seeing the gaudy shot numbers like we have in games past. Again, Blue Demons outshooting their opponents 38-15 through 2 games. Today it's just a 2-1 contest in that department. Opportunities have been there though. 1 good look off a corner kick. 2 very harmless ones. Popped up looking for a leader and nothing found there. Here's Purdue with a charge. A look ahead. Here comes Erickson, dangerously out. Tracked down by Shabanagic. And an offside's called there. So DePaul gets away with a break. What nearly could have been a fatal error ends harmlessly with the offside, after Erickson came way out of her box to try to field that one. Couple of good attacks so far by Purdue in their limited opportunities, but not a lot of shots out of them. We've seen a couple offsides. The one that Melchiori didn't like earlier in the game, and then the one right there from Shabanagic. Maya Lambert controls. Pushed ahead. Another crossing look. Tracked down by Walker. No, that's Jackie Batliner actually. Low offense first half, both on the scoreboard and in the shots department. No corner kick opportunities yet for Purdue. Here's a free kick look. Ball planted in the box, tracked down by Ali Musselum. And that ball sails away over the cage. It'll go back to DePaul. More than 40 minutes gone here. Sydney Parker. Look ahead. Lead pass goes up to Bose. Crosses into the box and knocked away there. Great defense by Sydney Sparks, the freshman from California, to step in front of that look. Here's another with Tierney. Her crossing attempt deflected, and her second effort goes wide of the box and controlled in by Purdue. Look ahead and an easy offsides there. The freshman Rabimbis way too far ahead of the pack. Erickson puts her leg through it. And it goes out of play. The 2-0 Boilermakers against the 0-2 Blue Demons here at Wish Field today. Bose across, and it's into the arms of Bova. DePaul looking for their first ever victory against the Boilermakers. 0 for 7 so far. Haven't even drawn a match yet, including a loss in the 2003 NCAA tournament. A lot of these matches, too, have been decided by a healthy amount of goals. A 4-0 loss back in 2005 in that Boiler Cup Challenge. 5-2 loss in 1999, a 3-0 loss in 2000, and 2-0 as recently as 2017. Only 3 goals scored by DePaul in their 7 meetings with Purdue. .80 seconds left here in the first half. Second half is where we see the DePaul goals. That's where they've gotten each of their 2. One in the 78th minute against SMU, one in the 62nd against Milwaukee. Those goals scored by Kristen Bose and Jess Lazo, respectively. We'll see if DePaul has one last charge in them. Here's a crossing look inside, and it's cut off there by Tegan Jones, Illinois native from Cary Grove. And now we've got a corner kick opportunity. No, it'll be a throw-in. Didn't quite get towards that goal line.
10.
10 seconds left to go here as we wrap up this first half. Turner lost the handle on it. And we'll enter the halftime break without a score. Not a lot of shots, not a lot of offense, just 3 shots for DePaul and 2 for the Boilermakers here as we enter halftime. Nothing. Heading into the break, we'll be right back right here on DePaul All Access.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
Yep. Yeah. Welcome back to Wish Field. We got the upcoming schedule here. Nothing at the half between DePaul and Purdue. We've got men's soccer tomorrow at 4 o'clock to open up that season. They'll have a quick turnaround on Sunday to take on Vermont. Men's soccer again on the 9th against Drake. And then we'll also see volleyball in action against Central Michigan. And we're pleased now to be joined by the head coach of DePaul men's soccer, Mark Plotkin. Coach, thanks so much for being here with us. First of all, you've got your opener tomorrow against Northern Illinois. Just can you take me through the level of excitement with your program to finally get this 2019 season going?
Got here in preseason and we saw just how fit our upperclassmen came back on the first day of preseason, and just seeing how well they've been progressing in our first 3 preseason games. I mean, just talking to the guys, like they can't wait for tomorrow to happen.
Now, is it frustrating for you? I mean, the women, they're in game number 3 right now. You've been attending all these games and, we got to wait a couple more.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice though having the 3 preseason games though that we had, just to give our guys enough opportunity to kind of get used to playing in our system and kind of seeing, giving all the guys an opportunity to have some minutes and kind of see who's going to be, starting for us, who's going to be our depth, and, how well everybody's been doing so far.
Now, when you look at this year's team from last year's team, what are some of the big changes we can expect to see?
I think what you'll see is just like we have a little bit more depth this year. I think we're going to be able to use a lot more guys, which obviously keeps us more fresh, and we'll be able to play at a higher level for longer. I have a few new attacking guys that should be able to help us, and our defense looks really strong, so we're pretty excited.
Who are some of those new guys, whether they're freshmen or just players who are going to get a little more playing time here in 2019?
Yeah, I mean,
that Blue Demons fans should be aware of.
I think you'll see like a lot of familiar faces from the previous years, like Zach El-Shafai, and then returning like Jack Richards. But a couple new guys you'll see here. Jacob Cito will be playing, out wide for us. He's a transfer from Coastal Carolina who's been offering some really good, addition out wide, possession-wise, and through combination play. And then you'll see a couple of our quicker forwards, and David Gritman and Joe McGee up top as well.
When you look at this 2019 season, you start off with Northern Illinois, a team that has been taking big steps year after year ever since Ryan Swan got there. What can we expect to see out of the Huskies?
I mean, they're a quality side. They had a really good year last year, and that coaching staff, they're great guys and have done a fantastic job of recruiting and figuring out, what's going to work well at NIU. And I think, tomorrow's going to be a great battle. I think they're very good at possession. They have some pretty dangerous attacking guys, but I think we're really well prepared for it.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for joining me here on the Halftime Show. Best of luck tomorrow. Hopefully we get another great day like this.
Absolutely, be great.
All right, best of luck tomorrow. We'll see you right here on DePaul All Access. That game coming up at 4 o'clock. We'll be right back right here on DePaul All Access.
We do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Welcome back to halftime here at Wish Field. Tyler Aki with you. Now in 2 weeks, DePaul Volleyball will be hosting back-to-back tournaments at home, starting with the DePaul Invitational when Valpo, Holy Cross, and Central Michigan come to town. The following weekend, Blue Demons will welcome Northwestern, UIC, and Loyola Chicago as the area teams look to take home the Chicago Cup. Before you see them in action at McGrath-Phillips Arena, we have an inside look at the student-athletes' goals for the season and more.
Do I survive either way? I would definitely go to space because I hate the ocean. I hate everything about water. I hate what's in the water. I don't want anything to do with the deepest part of the ocean.
I don't know what's down there. The creatures, I'm not trying to be with those creatures. I'd rather be in space because I would feel like an Avenger.
I think I would do space because it's so vast out there, and I think that not a lot of people would be able to experience that. I'm not saying a lot of people would be able to experience the bottom of the ocean, but I think that space would be cooler.
I think I'd definitely choose the deepest part of the ocean just because it's not as explored as outer spaces. So I'd like to be the first to explore it.
I would pick Rachel McAdams because she always just kills like every role that she plays in, so I feel like you can't go wrong with that choice.
I would probably pick Zendaya because she's perfect and I want to be her.
I would want a young Jennifer Aniston playing me. She's one of my favorite actresses.
I think I would want Amy Schumer to play me in a movie about my life just because I think she would make me look a lot funnier than I actually am.
This is a very easy answer. I would want Rihanna to play me in a movie because she is the love of my life.
no score after one half. DePaul and Purdue, Blue Demons looking for their first win of the season. Rooted in an education of Vicentian values, DePaul alumni and those with a deep-rooted affinity for the university are possessed with a purpose to engage with others within their communities and world to make it a better place. Joni Phillips, a graduate of DePaul's College of Science and Health, explains her passion for Blue Demon athletics and her passion for giving back.
I am a 1982 graduate of DePaul University, the College of Health Sciences. I was accepted into the nursing program. I can tell you right now, if you ever have a nurse with a DePaul pin on their chest caring for you anywhere in the country, you could know that you are in good hands. To be a DePaul Blue Demon, to me, means wearing the red and blue with pride. Wherever you go to show the rest of the world, I'm a DePaul Blue Demon and I'm proud of it. What it means to me is to be part of that family. As an alum, you should give back to your school, and that's what I did. And I hope that's what my name is saying on that wall. I support DePaul University. I'm Joni Phillips, and I'm possessed with a purpose. Go Blue Demons!
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
Welcome back to Wish Field at Cacciatore Stadium. Tyler Rocky with you here on DePaul All Access. Very tame first half that we saw after 45 minutes. As we take a look at some of the stats, DePaul outshooting its opponent as we've seen in every game so far. However, the margin this time around not as large. Also, the shots on goal in that department as well. They're having a slight edge there, but the corner kicks continue to be a big thing for this DePaul team. They have had more opportunities than their opponents, 3 times as many after 2.5 games, 18-6 in that department. You see the early advantage there, 3-0. And then Molly Erickson with the early card, yellow card, where she came out of her net to stop a potential goal-scoring opportunity. When we come back, we'll have second half action here from Wish Field. Don't go anywhere. You're watching DePaul All Access.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
Welcome back to Wish Field. Second half kickoff moments away here on the Lincoln Park campus of DePaul University. Tyler Rocky with you as we take a moment to look at some of the things that happened in that first half. There were some opportunities for DePaul out of the gate. They had a free kick 5 minutes in from Morgan Turner, but that one came up empty. They've also had a couple of other opportunities in the box. Kristen Bowes with a shot on goal, trying to find that second goal of her collegiate career after notching #1 against SMU over the weekend. Meanwhile, on the other side, we haven't seen a lot of pace or really urgency out of Purdue. Just the 2 shots so far. Only one of them came on cage. And we're looking to see if anything can change here in the second half. Again, this is a pretty high-octane offense for Purdue, averaging 2.5 goals per game. Granted, the bulk of those coming against Toledo in a 4-0 win. That came on August 25th over the weekend, this past Sunday. Meanwhile, DePaul, this is where they thrive. Second halves are where they've scored all of their goals so far this season. Hopefully for them, this time it'll be the one that puts them over the edge. They've trailed in every game, have yet to score the first goal, have not led for the entire season. Bo's trying to find position. Crossed around. Picked up by Purdue. Boilermakers move into the offensive attacking third, already coming out with a little more pace here. They got an 83rd minute goal against Georgia. That was the difference. So they can strike late. We've already seen it once this season. Still the early stages of this second half, just underway here at Wish Field. The defense has been great on both sides, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Cross, and it's knocked away by DePaul. Quickly gathered back in, and Purdue has this one knocked out, and a corner kick awarded. So it's the first corner opportunity for the Boilermakers today. 29-mile Lambert will do the honors. The junior from nearby Northbrook, Illinois, attended Glenbrook North High School. Same high school as the Iskra brothers for the DePaul men's team, who you'll see in action tomorrow against Northern Illinois. A look in front. That one knocked around. Another chance, and it's struck away by DePaul. Good interior defense there. Boilermakers will set it back in play. Trip up there. Ticky-tack call, and it'll stay with DePaul. Molly Erickson gives it a leg. Tangled up, and it goes back towards the Boilermakers. We've seen both of these teams try to keep that ball low. That one right there, not an example of it, but the wind has been very, very heavy through these first 45 minutes and then some. Flags blowing today. Got up to as high as 20 miles per hour so far. One of the keys for Aaron Chastain's DePaul group today was to keep that ball on the turf. Don't let the wind and the elements play a factor out there on the pitch. Lead pass goes ahead to Parker. Look ahead, and it's knocked out of there by DePaul. 5 minutes removed from the start of this second half. Erin Chastain in her 14th season with DePaul, trying to pick up that first victory of the year here in 2019. Told her players, all these stats that you see, you may be dominating them, but they don't matter because you're 0-2 so far. Like Lazo was tripped up. No, that's Bina Sapi. This one's Lazo here to put it in play. A little shorter than from where she scored her goal against Milwaukee. Here's some action in the box. A good chance at it, and it's deflected away. Brooke Weitzel nearly got a good head on that one. DePaul trying to control in their attacking third. Corralled in by Bose. Bose deflects it away, and it goes back towards the Blue Demons. That one into the stands. Aimed right at our cameras at midfield. Deflected right to Bose. In and out. Pulled back in by DePaul. Lazo to Saipi. Turner with it. And tacked out of bounds. Last touch off of Turner. Tried to sell the call the other way, didn't get it. Shots evened up at 3 apiece here in the second half. DePaul averaging 19 strikes a game. Well below that total today. Don't think we'll get there either. Popped ahead. No control quite yet. And it's finally gathered in by the Blue Demons. Right in front of their own bench, they sprint past Erin Chastain. Touched ahead to Bose. Lead pass. Looking for Walker, and it goes off of Purdue. Will stay in the attacking third. Batliner to throw in. Lazo contest there on the far side. Here's a look ahead. Shaba Ganich, and the ball trickles over the end line. Ina Shabanagic gets the first goal of the game. A trickler that just barely made it in. Erickson got over it briefly, but Purdue races out to the early lead. Second goal on the season for Ina Shabanagic. The senior from Hanover Park, Illinois, went to Hoffman Estates.
Boilermaker goal by number 9, Allie Melke.
After almost 55 minutes of play, we have our first goal of the match.
Again, the goal by Melke, the assist from Melchiori.
That's back-to-back games with a goal for the senior. Give the assist there to Hannah Melchiori. She sparked the scoring charge last game against Toledo with her early goal in the 22nd minute. Then she assists on this one in the 53rd minute.
DePaul working from behind in the third straight game. You can follow DePaul Athletics on all social media platforms at DePaul Athletics. Get all sorts of great content there throughout the season, as well as updates. In case you can't make the game or join us here on DePaul All Access, be sure to follow us at DePaul Athletics. Julia Ware moves the ball. Purdue operating from ahead, something they've done a lot of so far this season, have yet to trail. Meanwhile, on the other side, DePaul yet to lead. You can see those trees blowing, the wind certainly playing a factor here early on. And Melky with a trip and a card. She can't believe it. Trying to plead her case with the officials, both of them. And nothing coming of it, and we get our second yellow card of the game. One on each side. Molly Erickson picked up the one early. And then Allie Melky gets that one right there. He's going toe-to-toe with Avery Hay.
Substitution coming in for the Boilermakers, number 20.
Get our substitution here. Leanna Rabimbis will check back in. She spells Allie Melky. We're going to actually credit Melky with that first goal. So Melky gets her first goal of the season, coming off a year where she had 2. Jackie Batliner to toss in. Dozen minutes gone here in the second half. We've got 1 goal and Allie Melky's strike at the 53rd minute. That's the difference. After this one for DePaul, they'll travel to Dayton for their first road matchup, and then a couple in West Lafayette for the Boilermaker Challenge Cup that I talked about earlier in the game. Purdue and DePaul both a part of that. They'll be accompanied by Kansas and South Carolina out at Folk Field in Indiana. Might be challenges. May have gotten a toe on that one and deflects back the Blue Demons' way. Won by Lazo. This could be dangerous. Here comes Jess Lazo trying to find an angle. Punts one up and it goes directly into the hands of Bova. Not enough numbers there for the Blue Demons. Only had Kristen Bowes trailing. Looked like a much better attempt than it probably really was. Lazo again looking for some redemption, has it stripped away. Here's Sapie turning on the Jets, trying to trigger this DePaul offense back in session. Morgan Turner puts on the brakes momentarily before coughing it up. Boilermakers goal, a 53rd minute strike by Allie Melke. That's the only offense we've seen today.
Substitutions coming in for Purdue, Allie Busalam. And number 26, Skylar Jacobetti. Checking in for the Blue Demons, number 11, Mary Tierney.
A couple of changes. We'll let you know what those are once we see them. We got Skylar Jacobetti coming in and Allie Musalem both checking back in. Both these players got some time in that first half. They'll spell Chloe Woodbeck and Tegan Jones for the time being. And losing the ball there. Here comes Bose with some pace, trying to beat one defender. Crisscrossing, quadruple teamed in the box, looking for some contact, doesn't get it. Bose had a good opportunity there, but no help around her. A one-man band in the box, and it's an empty trip there for Kristen Bose, who's been all over the place in all 3 games. Almost a golden opportunity there, but couldn't get the shot off. Good contain and awareness by this Boilermakers team, something that Coach Roth talked about earlier today. He wants to contain this team, and you need smart players out there on the field against a good athletic bunch that DePaul has. And that was certainly good decision-making and good awareness there to realize Bose was all alone on that attack.
Another substitution for the Boilermakers. Into the game, number 19, Sydney Duarte.
Get another substitution there. Out comes Sarah Griffith. In comes Sydney Duarte. Another player that has already been on the field for the Boilermakers. There's Duarte looking to get ahead of the charge. It's cut off there by Maria Nordness. Saw an equalizer in the 78th minute last game against SMU. This time around, they're going to need one. Try to force overtime here. Not a lot of action here lately after the Melke goal. Hey, you can buy your tickets today for DePaul men's soccer. They've got their opening matchup against Northern Illinois. Tomorrow afternoon should be another beautiful day to be at Wish Stadium. You can buy those tickets by calling 773-325-SLAM. Again, that's 773-325-SLAM. Touched around in the midfield. Beat for a second. Grace Walsh on the charge, and Batliner recovered. Jackie Batliner, good job there getting back. The junior from Barrington, Illinois. Won a state championship with her Barrington High School squad here in Illinois. Now she has the honors of throwing back in. DePaul working from behind again today. Trying to find some second half magic. Again, that's where all their goals have been scored so far this season. One from Lazo and one from Bose. Something that Aaron Chastain stresses too, especially with this year's team, already down 0-2 this season, is that you want to treat every day like it's the opener. May have adopted that from someone a couple train stops away from this Fullerton stop, Nick Castellanos of the Chicago Cubs, who was traded over to the Cubs from Detroit, who recently said, treat every day like opening day. And that's the same spirit this DePaul Blue Demons soccer team is approaching with here after dropping their opening 2 contests. Up ahead, Turner races down, wins the race to the ball, and it goes too far out, and it was tipped, though, by Grace Walsh, so a corner kick inbound. Mary Tierney will take this one, the 4th corner opportunity for the Blue Demons. Let's see what they've got here out of a set piece. Here's Tierney, puts the lefty boot into it, and it goes straight into the hands of Bova. Hurls it forward, looking for an attack. She has one with Liana Rabimbis, the freshman, moving ahead. Better opportunity than most, and it probably would have been an offsides there if Ali Musellam got to that one. So instead it goes to Molly Erickson. Another charge here for the Boilermakers. Here's a look, and it slid past Molly Erickson. The freshman, Liana Rabimbis, found just enough of a seam, and she gets on the board to make it a 2-0 lead over DePaul. Rabimbis, a pair of assists last game against Toledo, and now does the scoring for herself this time, her first goal of the season. First goal of her collegiate career as well. Rabimbis had just enough pace to get ahead, got a good lead pass, and barely missed the foot of Molly Erickson, but now a definitive 2-0 lead for this Purdue squad. 2 goals on just 4 shots today. Molly Erickson has not had a lot of shots to face, especially compared to her opposing goalkeepers. Now DePaul is really going to have to work to try to force overtime. Purdue's certainly looking like a much improved team from last season, where they finished 13th out of the 14 teams in the Big Ten, solely ahead of Michigan State, who they picked up their lone conference win against last season. And this time around, got a little bit to go before Big Ten play, about a month, a little less. They're certainly looking like they will not be at the bottom of the conference this year. Bose, acrobatic play there, trying to kick it back to herself and loses the race to the ball. The much shorter path for Bova picked up. Bova slowing down the pace as we have an injured player on the field for Purdue. Maya Lambert, a little slow to get up. on all fours. Lambert, the junior from Glenbrook North High School in Northbrook, Illinois, being worked on by the training staff. Appeared in 17 games last year, a fixture on this team.
Reminder once again, fans, the next
May
home
just
game for the Blue Demons will
be a cramp. Don't want to speculate. Getting that calf massage.
Sunday, September 15th.
Hey, we've got plenty of action for you over the next 2 weeks here on DePaul's Lincoln Park campus. Starts tomorrow. We've got men's soccer against Northern Illinois at 4 o'clock here at Wish Field. Then the quick turnaround for the men. They face Vermont. The Catamounts come in from out east on Sunday, September 1st. That's a noon start for that one. Men's soccer will be in action again on September 9th at 1:45. That game, a change schedule time, so it'll be at 1:45 now. And then volleyball gets underway here at McGrath-Phillips Arena. That game about 2 weeks from now on September 13th. Plenty of action to take in as the new year beginning to start here. Academic year won't start until September 11th. But plenty of athletics to take in before that begins. Tierney caught a break there, trying to get that one into the offensive end. Lost the handle on it though, and it's popped around in the midfield. Chipped ahead. Here come the Boilermakers with a threat, and it's canceled right away by the Blue Demon defense. Up quickly ahead to Bose. Inside out move, tripped up. To the turf goes Bose. And no card dispersed as Bose stumbling a little bit after she gets up. Looks to be okay, running all right. She's been a warrior out there. We've seen her hit the deck a couple times, but pops back up every single time. Erickson lobbed one up to Turner, who couldn't collect. Weak pass, a shank off the foot there of Grace Walsh. But it's quickly gathered back in by Purdue. Here's Shabanagic.
Substitution for Purdue into the game, number 23, Chloe Woodbeck.
One change to report here. Chloe Woodbeck in. She'll spell Ali Musallam. Woodbeck, 5'10" freshman from Michigan. One of the taller players out there on the field. A tall freshman class for Coach Drew Roth. You've got the 5'11" Sydney Sparks on defense, joined by the 5'10" Chloe Woodbeck. Tallest sophomore, if you're wondering, is easily going to Marissa Bova at 6'2", tallest player on the roster. Tallest player for either team out there today. Starting to get late for this DePaul team. Magic number to chase is 2. It all starts with 1, though. Here's a lead pass ahead for Bose. Had it taken away. We've seen double and triple teams on Kristen Bose. Really been keyed in on by this Purdue defense. Come the Boilermakers. Another solid opportunity here. A strike that goes too tall for Tegan Jones. Getting back to Bose, she had a shot early on in the match, but hasn't done anything since. She's been in the thick of things at all times, but her lone statistic today is a shot which came on goal. Kristen Bose, looking at games 1 and 2, had 7 shots in the first against Milwaukee, 6 against SMU. It has been kept in check so far today. Did get that goal to finally go through against the Mustangs. And in each match has had 3 shots on goal.
In for the blue team is number 21, Michaela Horde.
Quick substitution for DePaul. In comes Michaela Horde, junior from Wisconsin. Only appeared in 4 games last year. Getting a taste here as Brooke Weitzel's subbed out. Bounced ahead. Here's Tierney, boxed out in the box though. There for the rebound is Bose. Rainbow's one in the air looking for Tierney, but it's knocked away by the 5'11 Sydney Starks. Here's Bose again, another chance. A long strike, may have been looking for a teammate in the box in Horde, but it was taken away once again by the Purdue defense. Batliner puts a lefty foot into that one. Now this one lofted way in the air. Misses Sydney Parker though. Up ahead, it's Melky already with the goal today. Slows down the tempo. Looking ahead. A crossing pattern there, and it's quickly knocked down by Erickson. Here's a cross that's overshot, looking for Melky in the box. Melky got the scoring festivities going with her 53rd minute goal. Leanna Rabimbis has the other tally for the Boilermakers. 30 minutes gone here in this second half clock. DePaul's going to have to string something together, and it's going to have to start with one. Horde trying to get physical down the alley. And it's taken ahead. Melky dished around and stolen away. Good defense there for the freshman Nordness. A whistle, and it's going back Purdue's way. A tall strike, and how about that? Upper left 90 for the Boilermakers. A prayer and a score. And it's all Purdue right now, 3-0.
Boilermaker goal unassisted.
Sydney Sparks.
Number 11, Sydney Sparks.
The freshman gets her first collegiate goal of her career. And today, it's been the freshman show.
The end of the game for Purdue, number 24.
Leanna Rabimbis was the first freshman to score, and there's Sparks.
from a country mile away to put Purdue in cruise control here for the final 13 and change. How about that? A clean strike. You can't place that one much more perfectly. And Sydney Sparks getting this team going. Sometimes it's just your day. Certainly has been for Sydney Sparks on that long, long strike there. And Purdue well out in front of the pack. Boilermakers still have yet to allow a goal in the 2019 campaign. They've got 13 minutes to keep that streak alive. Let's see if Kristen Booz has something to say about it. Off the crossbar. There for the rebound was Sparks to give it away. So Sparks playing both defense and offense over the last 2 minutes. Got a miracle goal of her own and then prevented a good chance there for an uncontested Mary Tierney. That's where that height comes into play. Bowes beat one defender, put that one oh so close. That may have actually caught a piece of the hand of Marissa Bova as it came back into play. But crisis averted there for the Boilermakers. And with a dozen minutes to go, looking to keep their shutout streak alive. So barring a miracle, looking like we'll see DePaul drop to 0-3 on the young season. Although, if Purdue learned anything about themselves, it's that you can score 3 goals in 6 minutes. They did it last game against Toledo. Turner has that ball deflected off of her. They scored 3 goals from the 33rd to 39th minute. Rapid succession there. You do need a couple breaks to go your way every once in a while, as Duarte tries to get ahead of the pack. And Lazo gets that ball out of there. Horde trying to come into the alley. Beat to the ball by Grace Walsh. As that rattles into the stands.
Purdue, number 6, Ryan Dudico.
Here comes Ryan Dudica in, the senior from Naperville, getting to play in her home state. Kristen Bowes will check out for Brooke Weitzel. Bowes active again today, but can't find the back of the net, was held in check. Had a couple of really good looks, 2 shots, both came on goal. The most recent one nearly made it a 3-1 game. And what would have been the first goal allowed by Purdue. Ten minutes to go here in Chicago. So DePaul's first win of the season likely going to have to wait until this Sunday when it travels to Dayton, Ohio to take on the Flyers on the road for its first road matchup of the season. First home win is certainly going to have to wait a little bit. They're not back at Wishfield until September 15th when they take on Bowling Green out of the MAC. Speaking of going on the road for DePaul,
very good record, all things considered. 5-4-1 last season away from Chicago. So looking to continue that success. Right now staring their third home loss in the face. Only suffered 2 losses here on this turf all of last year, so they would surpass that barring a miracle. Batliner moves that ball out of there. A battle-tested Purdue team looking to move to 3-0. They struggled in 1-goal matches last season.
Substitution in the game for the Boilermakers.
That has not been the case so far this season. As Paige Liebel gets into the game, the junior transfer from UConn, native of St. Petersburg, Florida. Well, if you're DePaul, you've scored 1 goal in the second half in all of your games. You want to avoid that first shutout of the season.
The end of the game for Purdue, number 7, Brady Riley.
Coach Roth cycling in a bunch of substitutes. This time it's the senior Brady Riley with this game well in hand. She'll replace Hannah Melchiori. Melchiori today, an assist for her as she comes off the pitch. Make it a point in consecutive games for the junior from Ontario, Canada. Purdue is not letting up. They want that 4th goal like they got against Toledo. Riley couldn't connect in the box. Whistle, and it's going the other way. Fight for the ball. Knocked down.
Substitution for the Boilermakers, checking the game, number 25.
Another new face into the game, Maddie Duncan, the senior from Danville, California. Coach Roth getting in some of those players who don't see a lot of action, especially those upperclassmen. We see Duncan in the game, a senior. Dudica, a fellow senior, as is Brady Riley, who have all checked in these late stages. Under 5 minutes to go here. Here's a look ahead for Riley, but it's tracked down easily by Erickson. Tierney lost for a second. Held back in by DePaul with Lazo. Across for Turner, cut off by Walsh. Turner lets that one fly out of play. For both teams, this is the last time they will see an opponent from these conferences. DePaul did see a pair of Big Ten foes, but those came in the preseason against Northwestern and Wisconsin. Here's a look inside. Ali Mustellum has it knocked down by Erickson. Meanwhile, Purdue, they'll see Northwestern and Wisconsin in succession that first week of October. They travel to Evanston on the 3rd, and then a home match at Folk Field against the Badgers on the 6th. Lazo gets a beat on it. Couldn't cross up a defender. 2.5 to play. Keegan Jones slows down the offense. Trying to get some of these other players involved. Just saw a touch there for Paige Liebel. Coming from a UConn program that will be back in the Big East shortly. Will rejoin the conference next season. Surely will provide some good competition across the board. UConn with good athletics. You know them for basketball, but they certainly wreak havoc in other sports like field hockey, where they're perennially one of the top teams in the country. Just a well-rounded athletic school that should provide a boost to the entire Big East. Fed off the far side, knocked out by Lazo. 80 seconds to go. Once again, DePaul is going to outshoot its opponent likely. Currently with a 6'4" edge in that department. But the results will be the same as the previous two.
1 minute left in the game, 1 minute.
The discrepancy this time around not as apparent. Outshooting their opponents 38-15 through the first two matches, but just 6-4 so far today. Second half has been completely Purdue. We saw no goals in the first, and then rapid succession for a Boilermakers team that can get it going in a hurry. A 53rd minute goal from Melky to start the festivities. Then they got one in the 66th with Robimbus, and then a fellow freshman, Sydney Sparks.
10, 9, 8.
This will wrap things up here from Wish Field. 3-0 your final. Purdue dominant here in their trip to Chicago. And they advance to 3-0. DePaul carries the inverse to their name at 0-3. Blue Demons will look to right the ship this Sunday when they take on Dayton out in Ohio. Their third loss here at Wish Field, more than they had all of 2018. To watch this entire match on replay, as well as other productions from DePaul All Access, log on to DePaulBlueDemons.com. For the DePaul All Access crew, I'm Tyler Rocky saying so long from DePaul University's Lincoln Park campus. Final score, 3 for Purdue, 0 for DePaul. This has been a presentation of DePaul All Access. This broadcast has been an authorized production of DePaul University. The accounts and descriptions of this broadcast may not be retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the DePaul Athletics Department. Once again, the final score from Wish Field at Cacciatore Stadium, 3-0 for Purdue as they advance to 3-0 on the young season. We'll see you back here tomorrow
for DePaul men's soccer as they kick off their season at Northern Illinois. Again, the final score 3-0 in favor of Purdue. We'll see you tomorrow here from Wishfield.
As they go on the road, taking on Dayton this Sunday, and then in West Lafayette.